Hello, my name is Brashira Crawford, student of Cal Southern University in the Graduate School of Behavioral Health. Today I'm going to be talking about psychopathology. For my psychopathology course, I'm going to be discussing COVID-19's impact on increased anxiety and depression. I chose this topic because it's relevant, it's contemporary, a lot of people are suffering, and there's um, um, some really interesting trends that are being observed primarily by the Mental Health Association of the U.S., and they've reported an increase in anxiety and depression with special focus on young people having reported or being screened as 1 in 9 young people. And when I say young people, I mean people under 25 years old being impacted by mental health issues, markedly moderate to severe depression, 1 in 9, and then 8 out of 10 are being screened as moderate to severe anxiety, having moderate to severe anxiety. This is very significant. Something else that I found interesting was in these screenings, the main reason being reported was loneliness and isolation, having to do with COVID-19. This is such an important thing to remember as a community, that people are suffering through loneliness and isolation, and sometimes it can reach a pit where individuals cannot find hope and cannot see the lights at the end of these tunnels as these days continue to merge, and our young people are particularly being impacted. According to MHA, from January to August, there has been a 535% higher screening for anxiety and a 709% higher screening for depression. This is very significant. Depression. Today I'm going to be talking about major depressive disorders. The DSM-5 criteria for major depression disorders include a loss of interest in pleasures of life activities for at least 2 weeks, and at least 5 of these criteria have to be met to cause a cause of significant clinical impairment of social work and or other activities most days in that 2 week period. And number 1 is depressed mood most days, diminished interest in the pleasures of life and pleasures of life activities, significant unintentional weight loss or weight gain, and number 4, insomnia or hypersomnia. 5, psychomotor aggravation or irritation noticed by others, so that's subjective. Fatigue or loss of energy. 6, feeling worthless or having excessive guilt, and irrational and obsessive guilt. Number 8, diminished ability to think or concentrate, or being indecisive. Number 9, reoccurring thoughts of death or having suicidal ideation. According to the DSM-5, those are the criteria for that disorder. For generalized anxiety disorders, criteria are very similar, but the time frame is a little different. We're looking at a time frame of 6 months, and having most days presenting 3 of the following symptoms. Number 1, restlessness or feeling keyed up or on edge, being fatigued, difficulty concentrating or going blank, feeling like you're going blank, feeling irritable or having irritability, muscle tension, or sleep disturbance. And this is an excessive worry or having excessive anxiety followed with or in addition to these symptoms. I must note that for young people or children, only one of these symptoms is required to meet the diagnostic criteria. And then when we're diagnosing, measurements of severity will be rated, and then cross-cutting symptoms assessments for level 1 and 2, and also cultural formulation interview, sometime necessary, and alternative DSM-5 models for personality disorders can be considered. For generalized anxiety disorders, um, again, these are difficulties controlling excessive worry or apprehension, and this will occur for 6 months or at least 6 months. And that's what we're faced with here with COVID-19 as we round out the 9th month of this pandemic. People are really feeling restless, fatigue, having difficulty concentrating, and feeling irritable. And having problems sleeping. Hypersomnia and insomnia are significant considerations. When it comes to interventions and therapies, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, has been effective in treatment of major depression and anxiety disorders. CBT effectiveness has been more effective than perhaps medical interventions that include pharmaceuticals because it doesn't have the same side effects or potential side effects. Also, with CBD, group therapy has been effective when people are faced with loneliness and isolation. Sometimes group therapy with cognitive behavioral therapy, breaking patients into subgroups or in like groups where they can share skills and sometimes find clients can sometimes find that helpful. Additionally, behavioral therapy and with cognitive behavioral therapy, each session would include an assessment of emotions, providing alternative responses, and would allow the clinician to model emotional regulations and problem-solving skills. So again, emotions, problems, and a change process. That will kind of be the structure of the sessions, and sessions would include reviewing symptoms, progress or problems, constructing agendas, also discussion of problem solving and rehearsals or role plays, consolidations of new informations and strategies, and then also providing clients assignments for home practice of the skills practiced and learned. And of course, making sure that clients are co-collaborators with the clinician is also important, and also taking into consideration cultural competencies for effective therapy is of utmost importance because there are trends to variance with how the pandemic and COVID-19 is impacting each community, even though the diagnostic criteria may be the same. With that, I just want to say thank you. I've learned a lot about what's going on in our communities right now, and I see the need for mental health professionals to really decatastrophize and debunk and really be out there helping and testing out helping strategies and wellness strategies. I should mention also that providing cognitive classic CT and mindfulness are also helpful in this case. With that, thank you very much.